Morning and Happy New Year to you all. I hope you have a good 2024. We just got back to work today and we've got a Z900RS in for a Willage ECU flash. It has got a power commander on it currently, but we'll be removing that just to see what the difference is. I'll run it with the power commander in. Obviously we always run bikes as they come in. So yeah, let's see what she does. Okay, so we've done the pre-run on our 2017 Z900. Power specs, peak torque is 90.4 Newton meters and 103 horsepower, 103.8, call it 104. It's a nice smooth curve. There's obviously some funny business here in the mid-range and the throttle mapping. The fueling is very, very lean, low down. The bike's quite jerky, but I will be honest, on top, it's actually pretty good here. So that's about 12.8, which is fine, and this is all about 13.4. It's the first time I've actually seen a power commander mapped around here that actually the fueling is relatively okay. But we'll see if the power commander is even set up right. The last one I did, the fueling looked good, but the TPS wasn't calibrated, so it wasn't even working. But let's take a look, see once we plug it into the software, and then we'll take it from there. So that's our pre-run specs. I'll be removing the power commander shortly, and then we'll flash in our new base map and get tuning on. Okay, so we've removed the power commander out the bike. Here it is. So that's out. We're going to just flash in our base map now, and then we will get on with the tuning. So I've relocated. I'm rather going to put the lambda directly into the narrowband slots underneath there. You can see over there. Here we go. So that'll go straight in. At least we get a more accurate reading there. I see they did bypass the lambda sensor, the O2. So yeah, at least then the power commander install was actually done correctly. The TPS was reading 99, which is fine, it's close enough. Yeah, it was a relatively good map, just very, very lean on the bottom. It needed a lot more fuel to be able to be smooth and nice to ride. But yeah, in the lower gears, higher gears were right, but in the lower gears, basically what happens is that there's just not enough fuel, and it tends to surge when it sparks, low down. So it's just not combusting the mixture smoothly, because there's not enough fuel to give a good clean burn. So we'll be sorting that out with a flash, and obviously doing the ignition dwell, which is a charge time on the coils, and obviously the ignition timing. So we'll do the ignition timing, with a knock sensor and everything connected. As always, you've got to have the right sensors to do the job. And then obviously we'll hook up and do the flash, and then see what we get. Should get some decent gains out of it. Okay, so we got the power commander removed, and the O2 sensor is disconnected. So we can now use the narrowband fitting to be able to do our tuning. We've got our cables, we're going to put all that in, flash in the base map, and then we'll get data logging and collect some data. Okay, so looking at our throttle mapping again, we can see that here's the restriction where it dumps off at high RPMs. So you can see in gear 6 it hasn't got that restriction, but in gear 5 it has. So we'll just remove that. Okay, on the ignition maps you can also see how it falls out there at the bottom over here and then picks itself up again. So we obviously just want to smooth all this out nicely, get a nice smooth ignition timing that we can advance and find our NDTs. Okay, we've made our base changes, and as you can see the ECU is disconnected. We've got a data harness that's for collecting air fuel ratio data, and then we've got another bench harness which we're doing our flashing with. So you can see that's linked in. So we're busy with the first write now, and once we've written, then we plug the stock ECU back and we collect all our data through the stock ECU. And then once we've collected our data, we apply that into our map on Woolwich, and then we write that data into the ECU. So it's a bit of a process on this model, being a 2018. Well, it says 2017 on the VIN plate, but the ECU is 2018. So we're just busy with this write, and then we'll start collecting up some data. It's pretty hot. You can see I've got the aircon in here, sweating my ass off. But anyway, it goes. Okay, we're all done with our tune here. She made some good gains. Let's take a look. Okay, we can see we've gained right up through the rev range on the torque and horsepower. We've obviously raised the rev limits of 500 RPMs, but it's a good solid gain the whole way up. It's good going. Final specs is 103 to 108 and 90 Newton meter to 93. But that said, there's large gains in between. So over there we've gained like 8 Newton meter. Up here in the higher revs just before limiter, we've gained probably about 10 Newton meter, probably about 7 Newton meter there. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Nice and smooth. You can see how lean it was off the chart over there. So we've obviously richened it up, and you can see it's a nice consistent mixture. So yeah, all happy days. Going to close it up and road test it. It's damn sight smoother than it was, and huge gains on top, as you can see. So all good. Yeah, it rides really nice. So I'm pretty sure the client will be happy. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.